Hi, friends. It is good to see you. I am eager for us to be kicking off our fall schedule and our Fruits of the Spirit series. I think it is going to be a time that is, dare I say, fruitful. But we are going to be looking at all of the fruits of the Spirit that are listed in Galatians. And we are going to spend some time each Sunday talking about love and goodness and patience and all of the other things that are on that list. And as I was working on the text for this week, the Galatians text that lists all of those fruits of the Spirit, I started to wonder about how much agency do we have. It could become a list of do's and don'ts because before we get to all those good things, Paul lists all of these things that are not the gifts of the Spirit and that are the antithesis of goodness and patience and kindness and love. And so it could become kind of a series on don't do this, do this. But that's not particularly helpful, I don't think. And I don't think it's at the heart of this Galatians text. I think at the heart of it is that these gifts, these fruits of the Spirit, are in fact gifts of the Spirit. And we are to be aware and in tune and on the lookout for these gifts of the Spirit that we can participate in. When I was looking at the different translations of this text, one of the headers on one of the Bibles says this. The header for this series in Galatians is keep in step with the Spirit, follow the Spirit, walk in the Spirit. Well, how do we do that? And I began to think, well, maybe we look for those different fruits, those different traits that are listed, and we follow where they lead, and that puts us in lockstep with God's Spirit that is already at work in the world, that is going on ahead of us. So we look around in the world and we see, where do we see love at work? That agape, active, tangible love. Well, let's follow that and let's follow where that leads and let's participate in it. Where do we see patience at work? Well, let's follow that and see where it leads and participate in it. What about goodness and generosity, which are the same word? They get translated goodness or generosity. Where do we see gentleness and faithfulness and self-control? And how do we follow along wherever that leads so that we can participate and also bear that kind of fruit in the world? We're certainly in a season of much, much challenge, and there is a deep need for us to be ambassadors for Jesus Christ that are bearing these fruits, all of these fruits of the Spirit that we will explore over the weeks ahead. So I would invite you this week to be on the lookout for the fruits of the Spirit. Be on the lookout for love and peace and kindness and faithfulness, for joy and patience and goodness and gentleness and self-control and generosity. And when you see those things, pay attention and follow them so that you can engage in them too. And maybe this week you can just be open to the leadings of the Holy Spirit and know that this isn't all up to us, that God is at work in us and through us and among us, and we can trust that. Go in peace, my friends, to love and serve the Lord and walk in step with the Holy Spirit. I look forward to seeing you soon. And remember, somebody at First Presbyterian Church loves you, and that somebody is me.